Throughout history, every century has had its villain, figures who left destruction, pain, and terror in their wake. This video will take you on a journey from the 1st century to the 21st, uncovering the darkest individuals who came to define their time for all the wrong reasons. Buckle up. This is not for the faint of heart. 1st century, Emperor Nero, Rome's infamous madman, ruled with cruelty and indulgence. He likely orchestrated the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD just to rebuild it in his name. He murdered his mother, poisoned his stepbrother, and executed his wife, then replaced her with a young boy dressed like her. He persecuted Christians brutally, using them as human torches. Rome spiraled under his rule, and his final words? "What an artist dies in me." 2nd century, Commodus Emperor. Commodus treated the Roman Empire like his personal playground. He fancied himself a gladiator, forcing real fighters to lose or die. He renamed months, cities, and even Rome after himself. His erratic rule ended in assassination, but not before he nearly bankrupted the empire and destroyed the prestige of Roman leadership. 3rd century, Caracalla. Caracalla's reign was defined by paranoia and bloodshed. He murdered his own brother Geta in their mother's arms, then ordered a massacre of Geta's supporters. He granted citizenship to all free men in the empire, not out of generosity but to tax more people. His rule ended with betrayal and a knife to the back. 4th century, Shapur II. Crowned in his mother's womb, the Sassanid king ruled ruthlessly. He waged brutal wars against Rome and began systematic persecution of Christians in Persia, killing thousands. While a strong ruler, his reign saw religious violence, terror campaigns, and mass executions to consolidate power. 5th century, Attila the Hun, known as the Scourge of God. Attila terrorized the Roman Empire. He razed cities, massacred civilians, and demanded massive tributes. Despite attempts at peace, he kept attacking and spreading fear across Europe. His sudden death at his wedding didn't end the terror. It left a legacy of brutality that echoed for centuries. 6th century, Emperor Justinian. Though admired by some, Justinian's reign saw massive bloodshed. His tax policies fueled the Nika riots, killing 30,000 in one day. He cracked down on pagans and heretics, and his conquests devastated Italy and North Africa. His ambition left the empire bankrupt and overstretched. 7th century, Emperor Heraclius. Heraclius began as a hero but ended as a failure. His wars with Persia destroyed both empires, making them vulnerable to the Arab conquests. He expelled Jews from Jerusalem and forced conversions across the empire. By his death, the empire had lost Egypt, Syria, and Palestine. 8th century, Al-Hajjaj ibn Yusuf. This Umayyad governor was feared across the Islamic world. Known for mass executions and brutal suppression of rebellions, he ruled with an iron fist. He reportedly executed over 100,000 people and had no qualms about burning alive prisoners or crucifying dissenters. A master of order and terror. 9th century, Basil the Shian, founder of the Macedonian dynasty. Basil rose to power by murdering his mentor, Emperor Michael III. His reign was marked by deceit, political purges, and suspected involvement in more mysterious deaths. While he strengthened the empire, his legacy is stained with blood and betrayal. 10th century, Harold Bluetooth. While known today for wireless technology, Harold's rule wasn't so progressive. He forced the Christianization of Denmark violently and crushed revolts ruthlessly. His aggressive stance toward neighbors triggered wars, and he likely died betrayed by his own son. 11th century, Pope Urban II. The man who launched the First Crusade, Urban II ignited centuries of bloodshed. His speech in 1095 stirred Christian Europe to attack the Muslim world, leading to massacres of Jews and Muslims alike. His call for holy war set a deadly precedent in religious violence. 12th century, Reynaud de Chatillon. A rogue knight in the Crusades, Reynaud was infamous for breaking truces, attacking pilgrims, and launching raids into Muslim holy lands. His cruelty knew no bounds. He reportedly threw prisoners off castle walls and mocked Prophet Muhammad. His actions helped trigger Saladin's retaliation. 13th century, Genghis Khan. One of the most feared conquerors in history, Genghis Khan's Mongol armies wiped out entire cities, killing millions. His campaigns in Central Asia and the Middle East caused death on a scale the world had never seen. Libraries burned, populations vanished, and terror reigned. 14th century, Timur, Tamerlane. A ruthless warlord, Timur boasted of building towers from human skulls. His invasions killed an estimated 17 million people. He decimated Delhi, Baghdad, and countless cities, sparing no one, even artists and scholars. His legacy, carnage wrapped in conquest. 15th century, Vlad the Impaler. The inspiration for Dracula, Vlad was infamous for impaling enemies alive. He left forests of corpses outside cities to deter invaders. Though hailed as a nationalist hero by some, his sadism, even toward his own people, earns him a spot among history's monsters. 16th century, Ivan the Terrible. Russia's first Tsar lived up to his name. Ivan tortured and killed thousands, including his own son. His Oprichnina secret police unleashed horror across Russia, burning towns, raping women, and slaughtering civilians. His paranoia poisoned everything and everyone around him. 17th century, Matthew Hopkins. England's self-appointed witch-finder general, Hopkins was responsible for a wave of witch hunts. He tortured confessions out of women and had over 300 executed. Driven by fear, money, and fanaticism, he helped turn superstition into deadly hysteria. 18th century, Leopold II of Belgium. Leopold's private colony in the Congo became a hellscape. His agents enslaved locals, chopped off limbs, and killed millions, all to harvest rubber. Hidden behind a philanthropic mask, his crimes shocked the world once revealed. A genocide hidden in plain sight. 19th century, King Leopold II again. He dominated 2 centuries of evil. Though he died in 1909, his crimes continued to surface well into the 20th. So, yes, Leopold takes the title twice. No one person so perfectly represents colonial greed, deception, and savagery. 20th century, Adolf Hitler. The architect of the Holocaust, Hitler's ambition cost over 70 million lives. He unleashed Wauwatotu, fueled genocide, and left Europe in ruins. No figure embodies evil in modern history more than Hitler. His ideology and cruelty continue to scar humanity. History is often told through heroes, but villains shape it just as much. These were the darkest figures of each century, leaving behind trails of destruction. Share this video, subscribe for more gripping history, and let us know. Who would you have added to the list?